Hello there everyone, so this is definitely a different kind of video, but this is my channel so I can do whatever the hell I want, so buckle up. So as you can see, I am in the kitchen, and I know this is a bit of a weird thing for an artist in their 20s, so I know this might be very scary to be in this kitchen right now, but we can go through this together. Kind of. Let me explain. So I don't really cook for myself all that much. I try to, but very often I end up just eating grilled cheese most of the time. And you know what? I am by myself at home for a good long while, and I decided, you know what? We're cooking with art. We're also gonna start cooking for real. And I also thought, if there's something that goes horrifically wrong with this experiment today, then at the very least, I can make some money back for it. And for anybody asking what this has anything to do with Undertale, there you go, onto the voiceover because I am not gonna be able to concentrate with this on my hand.
Okay, so before explaining anything, no, I am not becoming a cooking channel. See this more as something to put in the background while you're doing some other things, like drawing, doing the dishes, cooking yourself, watering your garden. Seriously, water it, it's hot as balls in Europe right now, your plants were not made for this, go right now! By the time of writing this, 3 weeks have passed already cause I am slow as hell. So to make it clear, I cooked this a good while ago. So no need to go bon appetit on me, I'm a big girl, I can say it to myself. So why film it, you ask? Well, I had been watching a lot of cooking videos to somewhat prepare for my lonesome time at home. Originally, I was only looking at cake recipes, and while those are very fun to do, the problem with cake is, well, you gotta eat it. So in order to not get in the hospital too soon, it's better to leave baking endeavors for special days. And I never really properly got myself to really learn how to cook. Don't get me wrong, Mom tried, but as any parent, there is a struggle to teach someone when they really don't want to. Cooking has never been a fun activity to me. We sort of learned a bit in home economics in middle school, but these would always take such a long time to do. And that's kind of my biggest problem with cooking. Time. Cooking isn't a chore to me, it's the activity of the day, and that usually leaves me mentally dysfunctional thinking of it that way. So I decided I wanted to be, at the very least, one evening in the week I really cook. I do the whole rice and meat with broccoli on my own in the week, but saying I don't sometimes resort to some grilled cheese wraps in the evening would be a lie. Oh well, baby steps are still steps, I'd say. The fact I'm also quite a picky eater makes finding things to slave over and then feel worth it not any easier. For the first one I'm doing, you're already seeing me peel potatoes. Or maybe I already did, I don't know, I don't have the footage in front of me, just pretend I'm still peeling. For those special evenings, I'd save a cooking video to then try to follow, cause goodness gracious, relying solely on my reading comprehension is a given disaster. This dish is called potato fondant. I'll explain it a bit more later, but essentially, it's just potato drowning in beef stock. And for any Europeans watching that isn't England, I mean bouillon. In the video, you're supposed to cut them into thick-ish pieces, except the guy got the most dummy thick potatoes ever, and those are the biggest potatoes I could find that aren't yams. My store is honestly not very varying. Seriously, I discovered recently yellow cauliflowers are a thing. If you don't like cauliflower, find whatever place that has them so you can get absolutely furious about not having known these existed as well. Those bitches actually taste good and those are nowhere around me. What the actual fuck? Tangent aside, I originally wanted to add the rest of the potatoes as like little potato links to accompany the big bosses, but they were, a lot. I didn't know what to do with them, so I just retired them to the fridge. As an early disclaimer, view this video more for entertainment and not for actual cooking advice. For example, I did not boil these potatoes, and in my defense, neither did the cook, so I just assumed it wasn't necessary. Hindsight, it was, in fact, necessary. No matter what tutorials tell you, always boil the potatoes, you'll thank me later. Or make it worse, I don't know, don't be sheep people, do your own thing, my dude. I put the potatoes aside and started getting myself busy for the second part of this dinner, chicken wings. Now for this segment, I need to give a bit of context. My first night on my own, I ordered pizza and left the real cooking adventure for the next evening. The following day, I wanted to get chicken breasts, and I have no idea if I was blind or anything, but all I could see in the store were chicken thighs and chicken wings. Thighs are good and all, I am bisexual, but I didn't really want to start my cooking endeavors with possibly the fattiest chicken part. So, you know, I never really ate chicken wings, so you can cook them normal like anything else, right? Wrong, very wrong, extremely wrong in fact. Not only did it take forever to cook that both my potatoes and broccoli ended up overcooked, but when I then put it on my plate to eat, the inside was red. Not pink, red. I did manage to cook it more, but everything got so damn cold that at this point, the evening had become a massive failure. So now I was stuck thinking, what the fuck do I do with these chicken wings? I can't do this shtick every single evening, but I bought them. The chicken is dead already. I can't just not eat it. That would be disrespectful as hell to that chicken. Imagine you had to fart out eggs, get butchered to feed some skill issue infested white girl, and then find yourself in the garbage. I'd ask whoever is in charge to curse that one for 1,000 years for stepping on Legos repeatedly. And Mom pointed out that normally you deep fry chicken wings. And that's when I decided to give it a shot. With a lot of dread, might I say. And I figured, hey, my special dish is literally just cooking potatoes. That's not a particularly good nutrient ratio on the plate. So why don't I just cook it alongside the potatoes? I was originally gonna cook it with these crispy veggie triangles, but it seemed like a good enough combo. That wasn't me being funny, by the way. Those bitches are actually just called that. All these vegan foods usually try to substitute a certain type of meat, and this one just gave up, and I respect that. Those things slap, by the way. These had a chokehold on me during art school. For the rest of the video, I'm gonna be talking about two people who assisted me in this cooking venture. My cooking friend Ari, while not a chef, has a thing for cooking and has given me advice and such before. And then the second being my Black American friend Happy. And the only reason why I'm bringing this detail up is because when I tweeted about my dilemma, he went into my DMs and opened with, "As a Black American, I believe I can semi-help here." And the first response I had to that was, "There's some Black American stereotype in there I am too European to get." So I guess chicken wings is like something very associated with Black Americans? I don't know, I'm just quoting here. Don't shoot the messenger, I just found that funny. You probably can guess who helped with what. They both gave some tips on how to approach the wings, and I mostly went with Happy's instructions, but keeping Aries in mind. Now, names can get convoluted sometimes, so I'm just gonna refer to them both as my cooking friend and my American friend. We good? Good. Not like I have a choice, I already wrote the script, so in combination with the American friend's advice and a few videos, I figured the basic way to coat the chicken was with cornstarch, 2 eggs, and flour. And before you say anything, yes, I did forget I had a ready container for the flour. I forgot. If it's not in my field of vision, it does not exist. I am 2 years old, actually. The idea is to first drag it into cornstarch, dunk it into the egg mixture with spices, and then finish coating it with flour. The spices were paprika, garlic powder, potato spices I meant to put in there, and then just left it there hanging dry, and the usual you would expect, salt and pepper. And yes, you are correct. That is indeed not enough spices. I will reap the consequences to them later. I think you're supposed to put the spices into the flour as well, but I forgot. I got nothing better to say. I just forgot. There's gonna be a point where you'll see me panic about spilling too much of the flour. That's because my setup was just putting my old laptop on the counter with the webcam hanging at the top of it. Professional, I know. And you bet I kept washing my hands continuously, except I got no footage of it because I don't know if you noticed, but you need 2 hands to wash them properly. I am sorry you had to find out this way. Admittedly, I ended up wasting a lot of flour and cornstarch. If I had to guess, it's perhaps better to put 1 or 2 cups into the bowls instead of whatever the hell this amount was. And if a single one of you suggests to put them back in the bag, do it and come back here. See how that's gonna turn out for you.
I'm kidding, please don't do this.
At this point, we've probably moved on from the chickens and returned to the potatoes. The guy only put the tiniest amount of oil on it, so I tried doing the same, except I was not trained in the art of the low heating. I have a habit of always cooking on max heat. If you want to get it done, you gotta heat fast, right? Well, I came to regret it later. I used half a cube for the stock, thinking it'd be too salty if I used a full one, like with veggie bouillon. Spoiler, I should have put the whole thing. I'm sorry, my half cube. It has yet to be used to this day. I mixed the stock mixtures, and look, I could have looked up how to make beef stock, but I once looked up how veggie bouillon is made. That shit's not worth it, man. Anyway, so after both potato sides became roasted, I put the butter in the pan when... Mom, if you're watching this, I cleaned this pan for a solid 20 minutes. I did not do a break, I promise.
Yeah, that was a bit of an oopsie.
At some point, you're supposed to put the beef stock in, which I did, but it was not the color it was meant to look like. I put the pan away from the stove for it to cool, cause I wasn't gonna find out what the stock was gonna do at this point. I put in the garlic as well, alongside thyme and rosemary, but it was definitely looking like a first attempt, alright. I never saw my mom use herbs like this in a pan, and I was really excited to put them there myself, feeling like a big, strong cook, and not someone who was about to risk burning the kitchen down. Speaking of which, the video I was following was honestly very simple for the most part. Sure, I fucked up the heat for the stock, but like, it's fine. A little fine-tuning may be necessary, but other than that, it was pretty simple. There was, however, a moment I started sweating a bit, and it was when the guy put the pan into the oven. Now, if you're as cooking illiterate as me, you're also a little perplexed that that was something one was allowed to do. I have never in my life seen a pan used anywhere other than the stove, and I don't know, I didn't think that was an option. Attention, disclaimer, all ears on deck, stop your monkeys in your circus. Obviously, not any type of pan goes into the oven. It's best if you research it yourself, but generally the typical Teflon pans are an absolute no-go. Anything with plastic handles, well then goodbye to that champ. I think ceramics depend on the type of pan, but I wouldn't chance it. There are a few types that are oven safe, but only one I knew I had in the kitchen, which was a stainless steel pan. And with knowing, I mean I had 50% certainty it was steel. Just to get a reaction to base further research on, I tweeted out this pan to ask if it was safe to put in the oven, and this is when my cooking friend Ari came in and took a crack at it. She was very unsure if it was stainless steel, but it also looked like stainless steel. We were both a little stumped on that. But after looking up the brand name of the pan, turns out it is a stainless steel pan, but it has a non-stick alloy coating to it, which is what I think confused her for a bit. Not like I could ever see the damn difference. TLDR, it's safe. Well, the pan is. The glass lid is less obvious to judge on whether it's oven resistant, and I was already chancing it with putting a pan in there in the first place. So, just to be safe, I replaced the lid with aluminum foil. For like a good 10 minutes, I panicked thinking we didn't have any, only to remember there were specific containers mom put them in, so yeah, I'm an idiot. I put the pan in the oven and just started staring at it like a hawk. Now, it's supposed to stay in there for 20 minutes with a quick break halfway through with 180 degrees Celsius, so, you know, I wasn't chucking it into the sun or anything, but I was still nervous and ready to prepare a shovel. In the break, you will see me towel up the handle. This should have been a given, but the handle is also metal, which means big ouchie. The mittens mitigated it, but it was hot. So to not have it be too hot by the end of it, I figured I could cool it down with some cold water or something. Is that something you're supposed to do? I don't know. At this point, I'm just winging it. Speaking of winging, this is where I started preparing the pan for the chicken wings. Originally, I was just going to use a regular pan and just put a bit more oil than usual, cause deep frying sounded absolutely terrifying to me. But then I saw this pan that was quite steep, so I went for this one. I didn't really know how much was needed. I just poured in an amount so half a wing could fit in it. But turns out my eyes suck again, cause it was actually deep enough to let the chickens bathe in it completely. I actually thought the oil I had at home was sunflower oil, and as far as I could tell and my cooking friend, it was fine to use. The smoking point is just not ideal. Do I know what that means? Nope, and I'm too lazy to look that up now. As long as she said it's fine, I trusted that. Turns out though it was... Okay, so I have no idea how to pronounce this, and that, yeah, I'm not saying that out loud. So I'm just gonna pronounce it German as that feels more appropriate. It was raps oil. Or canola oil. Fuck that though, I'm continuing with raps oil. It's just vegetable oil, which is more ideal for this kind of stuff anyway, so yay to me. Why did I think it was sunflower oil? Well, I saw yellow flour on the bottle and did not further look at the writing on it. Reading comprehension? What the fuck is that? This oil took genuinely forever to get the right heat, but I wasn't going to acid my arm due to my impatience, so I did my best to stay a patient little duckling. A duckling with gritted teeth, but a duckling nonetheless. Turns out I read the instruction wrong. My American friend said to use the flour to check if the oil is ready and wait until it bubbles around it, and I misinterpreted that as waiting for it to sizzle, so that wasted a lot of time. It wasted so much time. By then my potatoes were practically done. The last step on the potatoes was to pour the stock into a new pan and let it steam to lessen the liquid, and while I could have done that, I just looked at my pan and just... Look, I want to learn how to cook. That doesn't mean I'm gonna be a sheep about it. Release me from the shackles of unnecessary complications. Please, I'm begging. Speaking of which, my mom asked me why I didn't just put the potatoes and stock into an oven-safe tray after frying them, and you know what? I had nothing to say about that one. So now it was just chillin' as I tried my best to keep it warm while I was starting to put the chickens in. I had a total of 5 left and like, I am a big girl. You saw the footage, but 5 is a bit much, even for me. So I figured I'd fry the first 3 and put them in the fridge for another time and then use the last 2 as my actual dinner. I don't usually meal prep. I find the food tastes really sad the next day aside things like pizza or lasagna, but like repeating the whole process just felt like a chore, so that felt like the best thing to do. Finally, as I put the chickens in, I tried my best not to be a scaredy cat and put them in as gently as I could. If you get nervous around sizzling oil, please make sure to put them in slowly and not just plop them in out of fear. That would be a me move and I restrained myself from it as best as I could. Oil is very, very scary. Since I didn't want to risk getting salmonella again, I decided to use those thermometer things to stab into the chickens. I had seen it in the stores while I was shopping and I figured people keep talking about measuring temperatures in cooking videos. I may as well keep that on me. Now we already had those at home and a part of me knew we had those at home, but
this one has pictures.
At this point, I'm now just waiting for the chickens to be done. Here you can see me bring out my carrots to eat. I don't know if you've noticed, but the meal is just potatoes and chicken. There's not a lot of nutrients happening on this plate, so this was the only way for me to get some vitamins in. I was not bringing out another pot for this dog. Since we're just waiting around, I'd like to have a little rant now. When I was sharing my dilemma with my chicken wings, I lamented whether sunflower oil is okay to use for this. This was before I decided to turn on my reading skills. And one person was extremely adamant that I do not use sunflower oil, and that the best oil to use was corn oil. Excuse me, sir, I have heard of vegetable oil, sunflower oil. When I went shopping, I found peanut oil, but what the fuck is corn oil? My cooking friend chimed in too, also going, what the fuck is corn oil? Now days have passed, and cooking friend actually went ahead and tried corn oil, and her verdict was that this person was onto something. So maybe it wasn't bad advice. Still, the strong reaction towards sunflower was a little odd. It's perhaps not the most efficient one to use, but they talk like I was gonna explode the pot if I dared to use it. Which is funny, because I ended up not even having sunflower with me. Both me and cooking friend, however, stopped listening once they suggested to wash the chicken first. Listen, I don't know a lot of things, but if there's one thing I know is that if there was a bacteria that can survive the heat of oil while frying, we would have much bigger problems on our hands. If you want to get a different flavor by washing it, by all means go for it, but sanitary-wise, you do not need to wash chicken. I may be white, but I'm not that kind of white. Mom is Turkish, and I think I'd be evicted if I tried doing that.
I'm kidding, love you, Mom.
Anyway, check out this chicken wing that's just straight up bleeding. Maybe I could have washed this one, but only this one. I don't know if this is normal with chicken wings to have so much blood on them. Like, I know it was an animal, I'm not stupid, but I'm not used to packaged meat to, well, make it so in your face about it. Thinking back, the chicken I badly cooked probably also had some blood in it, which is why it was red. Which, frankly, I'm glad about, because God knows I was convinced I cooked so bad I made the chicken more raw somehow. It dried up while cooking, so it wasn't a big deal, but I won't lie, that did make me nervous for a bit. After all is said and done, we finally have our dish ready. Was it good? Well, how about we let past Syrian give her opinion? I'm also past Syrian, but take it away.
And so I think the beef stock didn't really do as much as I think it could have, so maybe next time I would need to put in like the full cube. It's okay. It's not as soft as it's supposed to be, so I think I was supposed to keep it in the oven longer, but you know, I was kind of scared of the oven a little bit, so I prefer not to risk too much, you know? In terms of taste though, it's fine. I mean, it's just potatoes. You can't go wrong with potatoes without burning down your kitchen. I put a little bit of the beef stock onto the chicken wing, but I'm not sure if it's gonna taste well with it. The only thing I want to know is if it's cooked inside. So right now I'm seeing no pink, just nice bronze. That's good. This isn't the best thing to eat with like potatoes, because I think you're meant to eat this with like your hands, but I might be civilized for once. I think I could have gone harder with the spices. I always get a little scared that if I put too much, then there's no going back. I'm a little tempted to get my ketchup out just to get a bit more flavor, but it's fine, I think. As like a dinner though, it's good. I think it suffices. For the amount of effort put into it, not worth it, but there's still a little bit of pride in it, I guess. I just wish the ingredients that I used were actually feeling like they're part of it. It feels a little like a nothing burger right now. And it's not even a burger, so... So the good thing is, as far as I can see, the chicken is well cooked. There was a point where there was just blood gushing out of it, so I wasn't sure if I'll be able to like cook it properly, but... Papyrus, what's your verdict? I think this says enough. Anyway, so thanks for watching, and hope the voiceover at least was kind of entertaining, and I hope not too many people had a heart attack seeing the cooking process. Have a nice day, and I'ma just proceed to eat my dinner and not think about the dishes that have to be washed after this. Bye!